another Earth Spirit ban, so I think that's 5 for 5 on Earth Spirit bans for SEA games I've cast so far today. Mineski are going to get rid of the Axe. Solid hero, maybe reveals a little bit of what they're planning here. The Warlock is going to be banned out by HappyFeet. Monkey King makes it through into the pool, as do a bunch of other great position 4 heroes, so maybe that's not the immediate priority. Magnus is also there. I don't remember when exactly Magnus got banned out in the previous game, but Mineski are like, you guys had the Train Protector like 4th pick last game. We want it 1st pick this time. They are going to give away the Crystal Maiden potentially, which I would anticipate that HappyFeet grab as part of their 1-2 punch here. Maybe we'll see something like the CM Lina, maybe.
10 seconds remaining.
It's interesting because the Train Protector could enable all kinds of. The Train Protector already puts a threshold on what HappyFeet need to do to take a tower. Like you kind of have to 5-man it and take it in one shot. You can chip kind of because the tree doesn't heal it up that fast in the early stages of the game, and a lot of Train Protectors are going for the max Nature's Guise build these days instead of going for maxing out the living armor. But it does mean that you need to pick at least enough tower push to take a tower in one shot. Otherwise, the game is going to get delayed, and Mineski can pick some Midas heroes and a Spectre or something maybe, and just wait until their high ground and their late game advantage kicks in. But looks like that's not the plan. The plan is to run at you with Train Protector with an Ion Shell on him. All right, they did end up going for the Crystal Maiden. They take the mix-up of the Sand King. Is he off lane? Is he support? He's probably support. Most people are playing him as a support at the moment. I haven't seen an off lane Sand King for a little bit, but of course I'm not watching every single Dota game that's going on. So, we got Sand King, we got CM, good roaming duo. Put some pressure on. Maybe kill the Darkseer at level 1. That would be nice. Try and zone them out of the lane because they gotta turn up to this lane. They got to put a sentry ward down, and they got to kill something. I don't know if they kill the Darkseer. I don't know if they kill the Train Protector, but if they let these 2 heroes get to in the vicinity of level 3, then they're going to be in big trouble. They really need to make sure that they drive them out of the lane as fast as they possibly can. The other option, of course, is to go for something like the Omni Sand King that we saw in the previous game, where they can put pressure on the opposite side of the map, and then they draw the Train Protector there instead of going with the Darkseer. I'm not even sure if Train Protector Darkseer is necessarily all that amazing to put together right at level 1. Maybe if the Train Protector buys an Orb of Venom, maybe it's okay then. But I think otherwise you'd prefer to let the Darkseer get his level 3 or get his level 5, and then have the Train Protector rotate in a little bit later on to maybe find those kills. But either way, it's going to be good pressure in the off lane. Both teams ignoring the Legion commanders so far, and I guess it's only HappyFeet who would be thinking about it here, since Mineski do already have their Darkseer. And after the way that the Legion commander worked out in the previous game, maybe we're not going to be seeing it in this one. But we do get a Jug ban. What's that going to be leaning towards here? Curious. All right, Luna ban. I think that's pretty heads up. I don't know if these guys were watching the earlier series with Fnatic and the Abaddon plus the Luna, but Darkseer is definitely a 5-man hero. No matter how you spin it, there aren't very many alternative builds on Darkseer. You buy mana boots, and then you buy a mech or you buy a pipe, and you go with your team, and those items are the most effective when you're with your team. People were buying Dominator for a little bit. The only Dominator I've seen for a very long time was that Miracle Luna, picking it up in the earlier series today, but I guess that's a slightly alternative item. It's still just a 5-man aura item when it really comes down to it. So we'll see. I think Mineski, they've shown their plan a little bit here, but I don't really know if it matters that much. Anti-Mage ban is surprising, because as much as the Anti-Mage is a very good laning answer to the Darkseer, and pretty good all game, honestly, with the Mana Void, but at the same time, if you're planning on picking a really heavy, aggressive push strat, I don't know if you mind the enemy team having Anti-Mage that much, since he is a fairly slow hero. And alright, HappyFeet are going to take the Sand King Omni Knight here, so they're going to have an equally annoying dual lane. Though Mineski, of course, they see it already. They haven't picked any of their safe lane other than the Train Protector, who again, I think might be spending some time off lane with the Darkseer. So they've got tons of time to think about what they want for their safe lane, something that's not going to get pressured too heavily by the SK Omni. And they can even think about whether or not they want to try and maybe put the Darkseer down there and look to run some kind of kind of aggro try. It's not too late to put together an amazing aggressive tri lane, and I don't picture Omni Knight doing very well in a 1v1 against Darkseer. So could be a good option for Mineski, but they pick the Disruptor now, who's not really an amazing tri lane versus tri lane support. He's very level dependent, and I think
10 seconds.
I think if they were going to go aggro, they would have picked a more aggressive support. So maybe that's off the table. Does give them some very good combo potential with the Darkseer and the Treant Protector, though I have also seen this Treant Protector plus Darkseer support duo just fall flat on its face and do absolutely nothing. So they're going to have to be a little bit worried about that. But, you know, they've got the Darkseer to get them off to a good start. They've got them for setup, and I would anticipate that we're looking at some building damage and some 5-man heroes to round out the lineup. You know, DK, Venge, Shadow Fiend, all that kind of stuff's still in the pool. If they want a ton of physical damage, they do probably want a hero that's going to be able to pick up a Diffusal Blade, which would be nice. But that's kind of the only constraint, I think, from on their side. I want to see some Troll Warlord, man. It's so popular in China, but it's just not seeing it. Okay, they've picked the Lifestealer. So I don't think you want to pick Terrorblade, because I think the Terrorblade's going to get pressured a lot by the Sand King and the Omni, and there's kind of enough to put pressure on him. But I think the Troll is also really good here. So we'll see. Maybe Mineski will pick it. Maybe they won't.
10 seconds.
What else is good? I like this Lifestealer pick. It's got some synergy with the Sand King. Gives you some Infest Bombs. It means that the Omni Knight is pretty much only going to be repelling the mid here. And alright, I didn't think about the Ursa. We were thinking about Ursa for all 3 games in Fnatic, in the Fnatic series earlier versus Clutch. But that was just because it got banned all 3 games. And now HappyFeet have picked the Lifestealer, but the Ursa makes it through into the pool. And all Mineski are missing is some tower damage, which I think they can fill just fine with their mid here. The Ursa eats Lifestealer for breakfast. Like, no problem. This Ursa pick is amazing, actually. There is very little on HappyFeet to deal with it. They kite it okay. They have decent kite, but Mineski have very good chase. They can surge him, they can glimpse people back. They've got the lockdown for the Ursa to do his job. So this is looking like a... Yeah, this is looking like a sweet Ursa game. Templar Assassin gets banned out. HappyFeet just kind of covering themselves a little bit.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, for Mineski, there are ways to make Ursa kind of a tower damage hero. Like, you can build a Vlad's and a Deso, and you do kind of hit buildings. It's not it's not the worst thing in the world. But it would be nice to have somebody to go along with that and bolster their push potential a little bit. I think the Dragon Knight could even be pretty good here. They have second to last pick, though, so they need to be a little bit careful, but there aren't even that many heroes that DK loses to mid. He's just stable. You spam Breathe Fire. You live. You take a tier 1 tower almost guaranteed with your ultimate. So I think DK could be alright, but we'll see what Mineski are thinking. Muji's picking his hero, so could be something a little bit out of the box. He does have a very wide hero pool, which for some reason doesn't include Invoker, but you know. Alright, Lina gets banned. What, are they going to go for the Shadow Fiend again? Alright, yes they are. Lina gives Shadow Fiend an extremely hard time at mid, so as soon as you see the Lina pick, you're like, the Lina ban, you're like, okay, right, he just wants the Shadow Fiend again. He's feeling himself a little bit after the previous game. It's not a bad Shadow Fiend game at all. You know, an SFBKB just kind of sits there and right-clicks everybody on HappyFeet to death. Ursa buys Diffusal Blade just fine as well. I was talking about that earlier with the Omni Knight, but Ursa definitely fills that criteria, and Shadow Fiend gives them the building damage, so they're good on that front. They've also got some nice little plays that they can make, like the Shadow Fiend, you know, goes and pushes the off-lane tower with the Darkseer, or goes down and pushes the safe-lane tower, and then that's all just the distraction for the Ursa to go and take it to Roshan, which is something that HappyFeet are going to have to watch out for. And they have, like, no Roshan scouting at all. And almost no vision, actually, in terms of their lineup. It's going to be difficult for them to get into the backlines, I think, and kind of use their initiation. OD is the pick from HappyFeet. It's slow, but it is good with the Omni Knight. It's not bad against the Ursa either. You've got Imprison to save people. You're going to buy a Force Staff to kite. And if you manage to get a good ultimate off against the Ursa and the the Shadow Fiend, it's gonna do a lot of damage. They're not particularly smart heroes. So, all right, I don't mind this OD pick. Looks pretty good, but they might just get run over. It could happen. The Lifestealer is like their only early fighting hero, and the Lifestealer is very much countered this game.
Remaining.
So I don't know where that leaves them. He's not even just countered by the Ursa, he's also kind of countered by the Darkseer. Surge is backbreaking for Lifestealer. You're like, aha, I just open wounds this guy. No, you didn't. If you open wounds the Darkseer, he grieves it off. If you open wounds somebody else, they're now surging into the distance. So tough situation, but we'll see. HappyFeet, if it goes late, I guess the OD has to win in the game by themselves, by himself, if it goes late. The Lifesteal only gets more like kited and countered the longer the game goes on. You know, they buy four stabs and they just zip around. You gotta level your ability to. All right, you're invis now. Nice. He already has an ion shell. Did he come with some wards? Yes, he did. All right, is he gonna block out the small camp? Maybe he will. Did they spot the Lifestealer planting that ward? That's pretty sweet. All right, well that ward's probably not gonna last too long. Did he actually see it? We saw that the Lifestealer had a ward, and now he doesn't. So there you go. Pops a sentry down over on this side of the camp. Gonna put the observer on the opposite side. Alright, so the small camp is definitely blocked. 100%. We got OD, pretty standard starting items. Omni's buying some boots. Sand King has a poor man shield. Looks like he's going to be... Is he actually the one that's farming in the offlane here? I mean, Random is the support player, right? So, alright, it's actually position 4 Omni Knight and position 3 Sand King. That helps solve some of the fighting problems that they're going to have. This is going to make the Sand Kings blink much faster than if he was a 4 position. So I like this, actually. Because the faster that the Sand King gets his blink, the faster he can load up Infest Bombs with the Lifestealer, and the faster that they can actually start fighting to make some room for their OD. Adam coming over, Ninja Boogie. Oh, he's gone for the Null Talisman strat. This strat fell out of favor a little bit after they nerfed denying yourself to neutrals, now that it takes you 24 seconds or whatever to respawn. But this is actually, this is a favorite of mine. So you buy the Null Talisman, you run at the off lane, or whichever lane you want. You Thunderstrike them 3 different times, auto-attack them all the while, and then just go suicide to neutrals. And you've wasted literally all of their regen, but alright. The Omni Knight's coming in here to help out. Mushi actually just getting in prison, so not even really using the space to get CS early on here. And so far getting denied, but yeah, Ninja Boogie just being a pest. These auto-attacks hurt. He's hitting for 60 damage, but little did he know Crystal Maiden's coming over and there's going to be another heal. He's just going to imprison him for the first blood, doesn't even need it. And, well, that strategy backfires pretty hard. Was there just not any information coming from the top lane there? Like, they've got an Observer Ward here. They've got the Darkseer diving the tower, so I feel like you have to know that the Crystal Maiden is up to something, but maybe he was just too focused on his plan, which was spam those Thunderstrikes and start the lane off nice for Mushi. He's still doing okay. He's got 3 last hits, and the OD only has 1 CS, so it's not terrible. Meanwhile, down bottom, Omni Knight just trying to interrupt this pull a little bit, but Train Protector is going to remind him who the king of the Radiant Jungle is. So Omni just going to get set packing. Ursa actually has Earthshock ready to go, but looks like he's more keen on just picking up some boots and getting back to the tower to secure this CS. All 3 lanes doing real nice for Mineski so far. And this Darkseer with no pressure on him. Yeah, I mean, the Lifestealer deals with it decently, but still not a fun situation to be in, and Darkseer has a lot of little tricks that he can pull to get some additional farm here and there. Keep farming up this big camp, even maybe farm the small camp, although unfortunately it's blocked. And Crystal Maiden actually going to go steal his bounty rune, exchange the bounty runes. Is she even going to take this Satyr? I don't think she's going to get it. Darkseer's going to get over here in time. Oh, no, he's taking a second to shrine. Maybe CM gets it, or maybe she only gets half the experience. Darkseer go. No, a little bit too late. Alright, Mushi a little bit behind on CS on the mid lane, but this isn't a terribly amazing matchup for the Shadow Fiend. But again, he just wants his level 5. He can go into the jungle. It's not a big deal. Looks like Disruptor going to take this as an opportunity to try and get a double stack, maybe. I don't know how easy that's going to be. The Burrow Strike misses completely, and Omni Knight's just dead. One more swipe of the paws. Well, one more swipe of the club from the Dream Protector is going to be that kill. Now Ursa chasing forward, picks up a second. Alright, I thought this dual offlane was going to do decently with the Omni Sand King, but they put it together a little bit late, and it turns out that you don't poke the bear. Like, this Ursa pick is so good this game. It's so good against the Lifestealer. It's so good against this dual offlane. I feel like this is just a game-winning pick, but we'll see. Crystal Maiden's jungling a little bit. Lifestealer is begrudgingly farming away up top. You know, it's not falling too far behind compared to the Ursa, so he is at least a hero that can kind of deal with this lane. He has picked up 2 points in the feast, just to get that little bit of extra sustain going. Might even buy the Helm of Iron Will super early on here. We'll see how many opportunities he gets to actually get to the side shot. This might be a very rare one here, so he's got to be pretty smart about what he does. Oh no, he's gonna instead just go and check out the side pull. Alright, Crystal Maiden still just jungling, only level 2 so far. Adam gonna come in here and steal this bounty rune. And Ninja Boogie does manage to grab his bounty rune down on the bottom. Omni gonna force him all the way back to the tower, but no chance he gets that kill. And Crystal Maiden is being scouted out by this Radiant Ward, not very long for life, but it scouts her putting down her Dire Obs, and that one's not going to last very long either. Does Ninja Boogie have a sentry just yet? No, not quite. Does Adam have a sentry? No, he does not. They're both dirt poor. 2 CS to their names. Ursa just phase booting right at the Sand King. This is not a situation that Sand King is very happy with right now, but at least he's getting some farm. Mushi, alright, gets that all-important level 5. They're setting up double stacks for him, but they miss both, so it's just 1 double in the big camp. There's a sentry ward there. What are they going for? Alright, there's the sentry. Get rid of the obs. Easy peasy. And they put down another obs of their own. I don't know about this. This might not last very long either, but we'll see. Nature's guys. Is Adam gonna scout out the trim? Is gonna scout out the Crystal Maiden up top? No, looks like maybe not. He really wants this kill. Meanwhile, Ninja Boogie's dead down bottom, but he's gonna trade his life for the Sand King. The Thunderstrike will finish him, and Ursa's gonna keep on chasing for the Omni Knight. Does have his ultimate ready to pop as well, so 2 shots should do it, and Omni Knight backs himself into a corner with a big angry bear. OD does manage to get the imprison on the SF. The shrine is not active, but gets far enough away that it's not really going to matter.
Invisibility. I'll take your tribute.
Alright, so what else is happening? Wen has his soul ring up. Still doing very well, but at the very least, Jules not suffering too much up here. Has grabbed his phase boots. Yeah, it's 2 points up in the rage. Pretty standard skill build so far. Shadow Fiend again going for the no bottle build here on Mushi. I think part of this is that clarities are just so good for Shadow Fiend to jungle, so you don't 100% need the bottle every single game. Alright, they did put this sentry ward down, so this observer ward is going to get dewarded pretty quickly. And they see the Dream Protector over here in the tree. They could just body block him in there and take the kill probably. Yeah, Sand King's here. There, he's dead. Rest in peace, Adam. Actually, is he out of range? He's out of range of the sentry. Do they have any more? Oh, no. Oh, they gave the game away before either the Disables got in range. They just needed the Frostbite or the Burrow Strike to lead instead of the OD auto-attacking him with his orb. Alright, well, Adam's kind of stuck in here for a little bit, but he's got a TP. He can leave anytime he wants. Alright, but they do have a secondary sentry. Alright. There's going to be some hit stacks for the OD here, it looks like.
I died defending. I was only indirectly responsible.
They paid 100 gold for that kill. I don't know how impressive that was. He did lose 115, not doing any shopping before he died, so that's pretty rough. Lifesteal are actually on top of the CS. Ursa missing out on some here and there, I guess mostly just because he's chasing down kills. He's probably pretty close on net worth. Yeah, not too far behind. Oh, and now they're gonna go for the Omni Knight. There's the bash, there's the slow, he pops the repel. Ursa needs to get in range for one more hit, but he's got his phase boots coming off cooldown. Random's gonna juke for dear life, but he won't be able to attack moving forward. They find that kill as OD also able to set up a kill on the mid lane. It's not Mushi, but they get the consolation prize as Ninja Boogie will end up falling. So support's going down across the map. Mushi is actually rotating down to this bottom side to try and take out this tier 1. Salving through the tower damage. He's got his double damage up as well, so they're gonna take this pretty quickly, but there is a level 7 Sand King in the neighborhood. So a little bit more difficult as a result. Maybe Mushi stays down here and Ursa tries for the Roche. No, well he's gonna go defend top instead. Do they have a smoke? Nope, they're just gonna try and they're gonna surge the Ursa, but he's got Infest. Now what? Do they just wait? They saw that they forced TP's bottom, so nobody can really come and help him right now. Yeah. Lifestealer realizing that, just gonna run for it, but there is a very fast, very angry Ursa on his tail. They whiff both of their disables, but still doesn't matter. Alright. Very smart rotation. And now they can put some two-pronged pressure on bottom and top and see which one gathers more heroes and switch to the other one. Lifestealer at least did manage to buy up some more items before he died, so it looks like he didn't lose too much gold there, but still a bit of a setback, and just goes to show how amazing the Ursa is against Lifestealer in general. OD has his Midas, very nice timing for him. Working towards some treads next. So, what, probably 4 staff after that. Start just farming away in the jungle, working towards being that late game carry. Oh, Lifestealer, what are you doing here? This is, oh, he's got backup this time. This was Radiant Turf last time. They're gonna pop the ultimate on the Ursa, blocking almost all of the epicenter damage, but Odie's also up here with the Imprison. Darkseer considers turning around for a vacuum. Ursa almost finds that kill, in fact, as Mushi does actually get the Crystal. Why is Crystal Maiden in here? Alright, see him trying to do some warding. Does actually manage to keep an Observer Ward hidden away from Mineski, so this one's going to stay around here, giving some vision over Mushi while he's farming these jungle camps a little bit later on. Kind of sucks for Mineski that they weren't pushing bottom while that was happening top. There were 4 heroes killing the Ursa, but there's going to be 0 damage taken on the tier 1 tower. I think they'd actually prefer to give them the CM kill as opposed to giving them this tier 1.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Not that that was his intention, but that's just how it played out. Alright, Tree gonna scoot down bot, grab a little bit more experience there. Ursa is still just farming towards a blue dagger. Does already have the Morbid Mask, so a bit of Roshan potential off of that, but I mean, if he goes missing for too long, then expect HappyFeet to be scouting it out. Shadow Fiend just going for the same kind of build this game. Probably heading into the Dragonlance next. Definitely a BKB game at some stage, but when exactly that's going to be is up to Mushi. Again, doesn't want to get it too early so that it's still valuable for when it really counts against the OD later on. Kind of depends on how hard you think you're going to be winning. If you think you can win really hard early, then you can buy the BKB pretty much right away after the Dragonlance, but if you think it's going to be a slog, then you probably have to wait. Static Storm, Kinetic Field waiting on the high ground. Omni Knight does manage to run out of it. The Glimpse will get cancelled by the Repel, but Sand King doesn't have any way to escape. He will be brought down. Oh, that was nice. Wait, did they just... Could they not see them up there? Were they smoked? Or did this Dire Observer Ward just get put down? Looks like it, yeah, it was literally just planted. Alright, and they forced a bunch of TPs, but once again, they're going to do the old swappo, and Ursa's going to head top. Is this going to play out the same way that it did the last time? Lifesteal's got a TP scroll, but it's on a cooldown. They're gonna surge him in. Alright, there's the Infest again. TP from the Sand King is gonna be the only form of backup. Even with that death, he has 1700 gold. Alright, I guess this game is actually, it's stalling out a bit. It's 13 minutes, no tier 1s taken. Both teams still just kind of finding their items. Plenty of arcane boots over on Team Dire. Even though they have mana regen in spades. Like Arcane Aura, Essence Aura. Omni probably disassembles these for an Aether Lens at some point, but for now, fine to have.
Top tower is under attack.
Get the extra bit of mana pool so that you can actually benefit properly from the Essence Aura. Looks like top tier 1 will be the first tier 1 to fall.
Dire's top tower has
As
fallen.
OD, not the most impressive pushing hero, unfortunately, is going for his 4-staff now. Crystal Maiden still working on the level 6. Couple of other important level 6s missing so far. Train Protector doesn't have the Overgrowth just yet. Is going for the max Nature's Guise build. So a bit more scouting, bit more setup, bit more pressure. Wen now has the mech. They've got the Shadow Fiend, Shadow Blade, and they've got the Blink on the Ursa. These are 3 huge timings, so we'll see what they can make happen with it, or if HappyFeet will somehow be able to dodge all the pressure. They are going to get their Sand King Blink, so it's not like they're not farming. Oh. Static Storm, vacuum back, OD already dead. Omni-Knight almost getting there in time for the heal, but was not enough. And Ursa looking for the flank now. Sand King gets the Blink Dagger. No, Sand King. He pushed the epicenter button. He doesn't have it. Ursa's just going to pop his ultimate. They do manage to get off the freezing field. Ursa just able to keep on running, however. Oh, no. Is that his courier delivery hotkey? Completely wasted epicenter. Not that the Radiant team know that, but yeah. They bailed out immediately on the Infest gank as well. Gonna poke their nose into Roshan, but Ursa's not home. He wants to kill with this Blink. He doesn't want the Rosh. Alright, at least the tier 1 tower mid stays up, but very big kill on the OD. That's gonna swing things back to a Radiant net worth lead, Radiant experience lead. Lifestealer very keen on taking this tier 1, but they're pushing into Ion Shell. They're pushing into the Living Armor, but Sand King, what can he catch? Can they burst the Darkseer? That would be great. He does have the mech. Should be able to pop it. Get the vacuum perhaps into the wall. They've also got the Overgrowth. This is a disaster, but they don't have any follow-up damage, so maybe they can disengage. However, now Mushi turns the corner. He gets 2 kills immediately. The Burrow Strike is there, but Glimpse coming off cooldown soon. Looks like Lifestealer will be able to escape, but what were they thinking?
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Like,
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
I don't think
Radiant's bottom
that
tower
kill
is
wasn't
under
even
attack.
close on the Darkseer, but alright. They lose 3. They can pop the glyph. The OD is still farming, but his chances of solo carrying this game, well, does get a nice little pick off there.
Visitors to the outer dark.
Tons and tons of Radiant Vision planted all over the Dire jungle right now. That's gonna make Ursa feel very confident about going into the Roshan, but that's not to say that they're not trying to contest this. Mushi actually just gonna face tank a gank. He's got a haste rune, and is he gonna live? Is this Caustic Finale gonna finish him? No, he's got the raindrop. Oh lordy. He face tanks the gank and makes the space for the Rosh. It was a close run thing, but there you go.
Radiant's middle
All right.
tower is under attack.
They know that Mushi's extremely low, so it looks like they should be able to get this tier 1, but there's a glyph, and there's always Living Armor. So if they want this, they're going to have to commit. Disruptor's keen to take a fight. Darkseer respawning now. Could get a big vacuum combo. Do they have a smoke? They're just going to come running in here.
Radiant's middle tower
The
has
rage has
fallen.
already been used. In fact, they can just glimpse him back unless they get the repel. Alright, nice. Repel from the Omni-Knight. So Lifestealer now working on a Solar Crest. Definitely important to have against the Ursa, who's going for a Diffusal Blade. Pretty natural choice against the Omni-Knight. Sand King, what's he go for? Probably a 4-staff. Fuel Scepter wouldn't be too bad either for him. We'll see. OD just going to be picking up a blink shortly after this 4-staff, so some nice mobility there, but it's a 4-man smoke. They're showing Mushi up top. They do need to be careful about not fighting on top of the shrine, but they've got Radiant Vision on top of the OD. Gonna jump on in. Can he imprison himself? Will be able to put himself under. The Static Storm is just a little bit late. They're gonna wait on the Overgrowth. The other heroes are coming in. Omniac gonna try and help out, but he runs into the edge of the Static Storm and doesn't do anything. Treant Protector just gonna drop a bash onto the Lifestealer. As the Surge goes away, Sand King will be able to lock the Treant Protector in position. He's been dusted, but he's still pretty fast. He's looking for this kill onto random. Epicenter will be used. Blink not on cooldown. It's doing decent damage. They've already used the mech, but now the Ursa just gonna start turning around and chewing through heroes. They've lost 3 so far. Mushi now turning up. Not really doing a whole lot in the fight, but he is here and ready to push. He's got the Shadow Blade, and Lifestealer being somewhat isolated. They're looking for the Sand King instead. He gets glimpsed back. He's gone. And as the sole survivor of the Dire team, Lifestealer will be able to at least pull the creeps off the tower and keep this thing alive. But Age is still in the hands of the Ursa. Shadow Fiend is gonna just straight be going. It's just gonna straight go for his BKB at this point. After the Shadow Blade, so yeah, senses the opportunity here. He's actually gonna have the BKB in like 1 CS. OD still trying to finish his blink. He's gotten some nice kills, but he's also just been picked off a bunch. So I say a bunch. He's got 2 deaths, but that has put a pretty significant dent in his farm. The Lifestealer, as we're seeing, just can't do anything. I see why they picked the Nakes. They saw the tree, the Darkseer, and the Disruptor, and they're like, what carry in the world wants to play against those 3 heroes? And Lifestealer kind of was the answer, but then things got flipped back on them with the Ursa pick. Ursa's got his Diffusal Blade now. Treant Protector just working on a Solar Crest of his own. There's even more nice Radiant Vision over here, so they've got constant tabs on what HappyFeet are doing. Meanwhile, HappyFeet feeling a little bit afraid with just this 1 ward, so playing together, gonna try and get some more vision down. Oh, they smoked right on top of a ward. Oh no. So if you're Mineski, do you just hold this high ground? I guess you have to push forward to make it a little bit less obvious. They've got the Shadow Fiend BKB. Can they jump him before he gets it off? That's the question. Adam in a good position to be able to get off the Overgrowth. They're also TPing in 1. The Burst Strike misses completely. And that's bad news. They've also got vision up here on the high ground. The Ursa's going to go jumping in. He tries to focus the Omni Knight. He does get imprisoned, but Omni gets sent back out of position. Sand King looking for a big ultimate. Does find 2 of the supports. They also manage to drop the OD ulti and find that kill. Ursa still has his Aegis, but he's going to lose it relatively soon, and they are managing to kite him. Mushi's not there. He's actually just taking the building. Is he going to come and join his teammate in a second? Ursa might be able to blink out of this one. Blinks up onto the high ground, but that's a bad position for him to be. Sand King just going to follow. Doesn't have the ultimate either. He's being taken down. Darkseer does manage to vac wall a couple up onto the cliff. Looks like Crystal Maiden going to go down to the illusion, but Odie just continues the pursuit by 4-staffing himself down onto the low ground. Blinks ahead and finishes that kill, and despite Mineski picking up that tower, I don't know if that was that worth it. I'm not so sure about Mushi's decision just to hit the building. I feel like if he runs in there as the Aegis is respawning with his BKB on, he probably saves the Ursa. But alright, guess wants to maybe hold the 10-second BKB for a fight that they can win in a more uneven way instead of just kind of salvaging it. Lifestealer going to be going back for an SNY. They're hoping that someone's going to come take this farm down here, and oh, maybe the Ursa will oblige. They blinked in, but no. Okay, quick discussion between the 2 of them. Quick team huddle. Can we kill the Ursa? Probably not. And they're going to back up. Shadow Fiend's now scouting this. They're jumping over towards the Disruptor, and they should be able to pop him easily. He picks up the blink off the Courier. Almost actually got it off. Could have been a big play. Lifestealer finds himself a very convenient invis rune to escape, and Mushi, once again, reliving the glory days of last game, is just going to continue operating in siege mode, coming straight in under the tier 2. They have no Disruptor for this fight, so they need to be a little bit careful, and OD with the TP up and ready to go, and a Shrine ready to TP onto is just going to keep on pushing top, so Mineski actually gets sent packing, and there has been a little bit of a dent in this net worth advantage over the last few minutes. Oh, Wen, look at this. He's like, team, can we get here? Come on, I've got a huge vacuum. It's on 2 heroes, but no. Okay, the Odie's going to start getting scary. The Repel is starting to get leveled up higher and higher, so it's going to be more difficult to control him in these fights. He's not going to care about the Static Storm, and the backline is going to become increasingly difficult to find unless they get a good fight around some of this vision that they've got down. Looks like HappyFeet should be able to take this tier 1 bottom. Push continues mid from Mushi, 3.5k. What's he gonna buy, actually? Does he go for the butterfly again? Probably a decent choice. They're all running past this Dire Observer Ward, and they see the darks here. This sentry is just out of range. This is a decent place to take a fight since they do have good vision. Mushi? Are they really gonna lead their team onto this OD? Everybody else is waiting up on the high ground. The Burrow Strike catches onto 2. The Ursa and the Shadow Fiend do manage to get off their defensive abilities, and they vacuum into the Requiem, popping the Sand King instantly. Lifestealer still fighting. And the OD going to work. He's got his Hurricane Pike, and that's going to finish off the Ursa. Mushi trying to muscle through him, but he puts himself under, and as the dust settles, it's just a 2-for-2 team fight with the offlane and 1 support going down for HappyFeet. And that's a team fight with the 10-second beat from Mineski. Like, if the theory is that Mushi didn't use the 10-second BKB in that top fight because it was going to win them a fight really hard after that, that has not worked out. And Sand King, I mean, he whiffed the burrow, but these last couple of engagements, he's been playing pretty nice. So Odie getting big. I don't know why they didn't just wait for Shadow Fiend to use some of his gold. Like, he walks into that fight and they have a 3.5k or whatever net worth advantage, but it isn't really an advantage because it's all just sitting in Shadow Fiend's piggy bank. Like, he doesn't actually have an item that's translating to his net worth. Meanwhile, the OD had a Hurricane Pike, which kind of saved his life. Is now going to have a Shiva's very soon, so as much as this Ursa pick is looking good, it's also similar to the Lifestealer, just going to continue to get kited the longer this game goes on. Shadow Fiend quite close to his butterfly, so they'll probably wait for that before making any other aggressive moves, but HappyFeet, they didn't get the memo. They're just looking for a gank down here on the Treant Protector. Ursa running over as well. Sand King, somewhat difficult to catch, but might be able to get him. Jump in, there's the sentry. Sand King's gonna pop at. Well, Sand King's gonna pop, and out pops the special surprise. It's the Lifestealer. Doesn't have the Infest right now. This is gonna be 2 easy pickoffs. He's gonna try and armlet toggle his way to safety, but he's down, and that's gonna be the tier 2 for sure. There's a glyph, maybe. What, line being donned by the Crystal Maiden? Does she want to defend this? I mean, they could, but I think it's worth it to just let the OD farm his Shivas. So let's... Alright. Free tower. Roshan's back up in 10 seconds. 2 seconds.
Radiant's top tower is under
Neither
attack.
team has scouted this just yet. OD's still slowly working on this tier 1. Shadow Fiend gonna TP in to stop him. No attempted catch or any kind of threat on bottom, so they can just walk themselves away. Disruptor, the Blink Dagger, we haven't seen it really come into effect just yet, but should allow him to have some pretty defensive positioning and then still get his ultimate off the way that he needs to, so that's good. Do we also have another Blink on the Darkseer? He's got to have something other than just this Greaves, right? Yeah, alright. So he's got a Blink as well. The big teamfight combo is coming online. They've got the Solar Crest on the Treant Protector to help out a little bit as well. And they are going to give the Aegis to the Shadow Fiend if Mushi can figure out how to pick it up. There you go. And the Butterfly is coming out. So big timings, but also a nice timing for the OD. He's got his level 3 ultimate. He's got his Shiva's Guard. His ultimate hurts a lot. And we'll see if that's going to be enough to carry his team to the fight. The Lifestealer is also not slacking too much, but he's spending a lot of time inside the Sand King. Fortunately, he's picked up this Midas. I didn't see exactly when he went back for the Midas, but that's at least helping to keep his farm up there. Alright, once again, the plan is going to be Mushi hits the buildings, but looks like with no intel whatsoever on where HappyFeet are, they're going to take a little pause. Deny attempted, but will not get it. Disruptor going to be going for an Ags. Is that even that good? I guess OD probably buys a BKB eventually. Ursa's got a BKB now. Alright, so big BKB timings, along with the Aegis for Mineski, should be able to take a fight reasonably easily, but just have to be careful about their vision, have to be careful about their positioning. And that is what they're doing right now. They're going to get top lane pushed in, they get mid lane pushed in. Looks like they're going to send the Ursa down to get bottom lane pushed, so long as he doesn't die down here, they should be able to get all 3 lanes in a position that they're happy with, and then continue from there into some kind of push on the mid lane. Sand King's got a 4-staff. Do we have any other 4-staffs up? Actually, the Crystal Maiden going to buy a gem, handing that over to the SK. Do they have any smokes? Yes, alright. Crystal Maiden going to buy 1. She already has 1 in her inventory, so they're going to try and get the Sand King smoked somewhere. Maybe he can pincer from the side. If they can burst the Disruptor in the back lines or the Train Protector, all of a sudden the team fight becomes much, much easier. Like we saw in this fight, you know, if they get, even with the spells going off, you know, if they just mitigate the impact of the Disruptor and the Train Protector, then they can win these fights pretty easily by just kiting out the Shadow Fiend and the Ursa. Same is true on the other side. If they kill the Omni Knight and the Sand King without them getting any spells off, then the Lifestealer and the OD aren't going to be able to hit anyone. Quick pause. Alright, somebody's going to the bathroom. Ursa's gonna go Basher. Disruptor. Actually pretty farm. Did he go for the GPM talent? He did. Doesn't really need the cast range so much if he has this Blink Dagger. I guess Train Protector really playing the hard 5 here. He's also gonna be going for a Blink. Darkseer just going straight towards a Hex. I find that a little bit surprising. I feel like a lot of people would have gone back for a Pipe, maybe. But I guess he's just thinking the easiest way to win this game is to Blink Hex the OD. Alright, there's the Repel. It's gonna look to build up some int stacks here. Yeah, that's what the Hurricane Bike is for. Mushi. Hello? Alright, Butterfly maybe not helping him as much as he would have liked. And handing away 16 ints. They are going to retreat. They do find the Sand King up here. They're going to be able to pop the Disruptor. That's a big issue. They also get the Sanity's Eclipse on the Train Protector. And their positioning just collapses. They didn't back as a team. They didn't... It seemed like everybody just went their separate ways and they lost 2 heroes instantly. And that's probably enough of a mistake that they're not going to get any more time on this Aegis. It's only got 2 minutes left. I think at this stage, HappyFeet can quite easily wait it out. What even happened? It was like Mushi realized that he couldn't push the high ground against the OD, and then they panicked. They panicked and went 5 different directions. Alright. I guess this is where the OD is going to start winning the game. He is going for a BKB now. So they'll be able to spare the Repel maybe for the Sand King. He's running around with the gem, so important to keep him alive. Omni Knight, is he going for yet another 4-staff? Looks like he might be. Just has the ring of regen so far. Alright, can they kill this Lifestealer? Jump in. He can only infest his own creeps, so he's just gonna have to run for it. He does have the Solar Crest helping him out a little bit. Ursa still holding on to the ulti, and now as the Rage fades, should be able to finish him. But Lifestealer's still living, and there's a fight happening on the bottom side of the map. Meanwhile, Disruptor's already dead. They do have some lockdown. Omni Knight going to be TPing out. Mushi still holding onto the BKB. Pops it now. They get the vacuum back into the bash. Ursa turns up. Can he play his way out of this? He's got a blink. They're waiting with the Requiem. He blinks a little bit further across, but the Requiem still manages to catch him. And this bash, if he could... He made it. I guess the Nature's Guise just faded. It was far enough away from this tree that it didn't bash him, and he lives. Holy smokes. Alright, OD's still alive. Still a net worth advantage for the Radiant, but again, Aegis is going to be gone in just a couple of seconds' time. Yeah, 5 seconds. Mushi is just going for a MKB at the moment to help deal with the Solar Crest on the Lifestealer. Darkseer, this is ultimate orb towards his Hex. It's still going to take him a while to farm it up, but at least he can farm reasonably quickly. And 5-man from HappyFeet. They know that the Aegis is gone, so I think they're going to look to exert a little bit more control over the map. A little bit surprised that they don't go for this tier 1 tower up top, but I guess just hoping to find somebody in the Radiant jungle, perhaps. Sand King leads the way. Do they have any vision? They've actually got a dire ward waiting up here on the high ground. This could be really bad if they jump the backline to Darkseer. Can they burst him down? Static's trying to try and save him. He does try and get the surge off, but will be brought down. They've lost 2 so far, and it's only in exchange for the Crystal Maiden. Ursa using his ulti and his BKB early on here. Might be able to get out with the blink, but they're going to continue the chase. They've got the burrow strike. They bring him down. Godlike, and a double kill for the OD. They don't have a creep wave to be able to push, but still 3 very big kills. Roshan not up for at least another 2 minutes. And Mineski seeming like they are starting to lose control of this game a little bit. Mushi's only 300 gold away from his MKB, but I don't even know if he can just sit there and fight. You think about him, you think about the Shadow Fiend in the last game. He could be confident to just do whatever he wanted because he had the backing of the Omni Knight and the Vengeful Spirit. This game, he doesn't really have that. And I think Mineski desperately need a gem. They can't afford to let wards like this lose them fights. Because they had the high ground. By all accounts, this is not a bad place for Mineski to fight. But it is pretty bad when they can just see your entire team and pick off the Darkseer before he casts a single spell. I don't know, did he even get his Guardian Greaves off? Probably did. Alright, tier 2 dead.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Lifestealer just going to go for a basher. Not really that important that he does a ton of damage here, just important that he can control the Ursa and the Shadow Fiend. So I like this choice. I think an AC could be pretty good for him as well, though I don't know how he fits it in. I guess he's going to get rid of the Midas eventually. But he's doing alright. Okay, they got the gem. They get the D ward on the high ground. They get the D ward on the low ground. They realize all of the reasons that they lost that previous fight. And now I guess they just cross their fingers for an early Roshan respawn. This OD's going to go for a Hex. And once he gets that, his BKBs are going to mean very little over on the Radiant side. Even with the 7-second BKB on the Shadow Fiend and I think an 9-second BKB on the Ursa. Alright, so Roshan's up in 1 minute and 30 seconds. Darkseer still valiantly working towards his Hex. But I think the OD might beat him there. Yeah, 3k gold already. There's the smoke. They're just going to leave the OD at the front, but the Radiant scan does detect some kind of suspicious activity. Can they take the high ground instead? It would be dangerous, especially given that this shrine is active. And they're pressing into an area where the Dire have pretty damn good vision. Alright. Ursa leads the way. He's got the basher. HappyFeet also taking a high ground of their own. Just playing around their OD. Can they break through this to get over to their shrine? This is going to be an awkward initiation. Shadow Fiend might have to pop the BKB very, very quickly, but they get the burrow strike off onto him before that happens. He pops the BKB, but it's way too late. Can he get the Rec Room off? He's turning around to fight. Lifestealer trapped inside of the silence. Has already used the rage. Might just get auto-attacked to death. Won't be able to toggle. Ninja Boogie dies. And somehow by keeping Mushi alive, they've actually turned this fight somewhat. But they still haven't dealt with the big bad OD. And now with the Ursa, no BKB, no ultimate. He just gets shredded. Adam once again finds that same hidey hole in the trees that he was trapped in earlier. And manages to TP out. We do get a buyback from the Lifestealer. Roshan, unfortunately, not quite up. They just missed out on that by a couple of seconds, but Ursa dead for 60, Shadow Fiend dead for 60, and well, this unbeknownst to HappyFeet, but neither of them have buyback available. Ninja Boogie gonna get slowed down. The OD knows no fear. He does get solar crested, so missing a couple of shots, but Still manages to get the kill before getting glimpsed back. Beyond the godlike streak for him. Tier 3 tower to fall, and with no buybacks forthcoming, I think they're going to realize that this is an easy lane of racks. There's still tier 2s. Heck, there's still a tier 1 in the other lanes, but... just really awkward for Mineski that Shadow Fiend happened to be the one coming down from the high ground right as they got flanked. And with that, OD is insanely close to his Hex. They're going to be able to take these shrines, so restricting map control around the Rosh. They don't even have very good Roshan taking potential, but they might get this next one just because of the position that they find themselves in. They've also got the Solar Crest, so I suppose they're not awful, but... Oh my god, OD's level 25 now, so he's got the 60 seconds on the insta-steal. Yeah, I don't know what Mineski do. Shadow Fiend just, he can't sit there and auto-attack the way that he wants. Probably needs a Satanic. But even then, probably just gets hexed. Alright, looks like maybe Mineski get a... They get some kind of a chance here getting into the Roshan before the enemy team gets here, but oh, even this might not be enough. Aegis is there. Cheese also picked up, but the Burst Strike catches onto both of them. Do they have the Sanity's Eclipse available? It's on cooldown for 20 seconds. The Static Storm is controlling the Lifestealer for the time being, and he does not have a buyback available, but Mushi could end up losing the first life. They get the Vacuum off. Epicenter now coming in. Ursa has already popped both of his big cooldowns, but he's going to wait for the cheese to come out of his backpack. They do manage to drop one buyback from the Omni Knight. OD just getting chunked down. Does manage to get the Hurricane Pike off, but not enough control left, and he will actually get right-clicked down. Could this be the game-losing fight for HappyFeet? They have no Lifestealer for 90 seconds. They do have a buyback on their OD. Crystal Maiden going to desperately push out this mid lane. And fortunately for them, it is already a full lane of racks, so not going to be easy to push. Instead, Mushi going to set his sights on the top lane. But they do need to heal up their Ursa. Actually, well, he's got the cheese. I guess he's okay. Alright, just going to pop the cheese. The rest of the team going to come over. Heck, what the heck? Where'd that come from? Who'd he kill? Nobody. Oh. Well, there you go. Alright, Darkseer got the Hex. Mineski, game swinging back their way. If they lose this OD again without getting the important kills, that could be trouble, but Shadow Fiend's BKB is still on cooldown for 3 seconds. They didn't just wait for it. Ursa will be able to TP out, it looks like, but the Burrow Strike's going to be able to catch Adam, and that will be the gem lost. Oh, all of that for 3 seconds on a BKB. Mineski get ahead of themselves. They did manage to force the OD buyback, but what could have been a game-winning moment for them just gets flipped right back around. They're going to get their Lifestealer back up. Fortunately for them, they've got all these towers, so their buybacks will not be forced, but HappyFeet are doing it. Sand King scouting. He's got a lot of initiation range, but he can't see Ninja Boogie because it is nighttime. Line being drawn. Why are they coming up mid? What's the plan here? Guys? Yeah, see, Odie's got the right idea. He's like, guys, we gotta take this tier 1. Okay, they're gonna rendezvous with their OD. He's gonna pick up his Hex. Doesn't have buyback anyway, so may as well. And they're ahead, but they should still be careful. Like, I don't think they can... They probably can't get Megas if they both die, but bad things certainly happen. I would think it would be worth it to wait for the OD ulti to come back up, and maybe even the buybacks. No real reason to throw this game at this point. They've even got some items in the works. You know, Lifestealer going to go for the Abyssal Blade. Sand King going for Lotus, just to help out with the control against this Hex, which I think they have seen now when farming out this bottom wave. And Mushi has quite a bit of gold, but looks like he's going to be saving for buyback for the most part. Going to try for a Lincoln Sphere. I guess the Burrow Strike initiation has been the big thing killing him so far, so not a terrible decision, but it's pretty easy for OD to blink Hurricane Pike Hex, and then he just dies. Adam going to pick up another gem. It is all important that they maintain this map control right now. And I mean, the only reason that they could do anything over here, over at the Roshan fight, is because they had the Aegis. So with that, I'm not sure what they can do. They might fish for an OD pickoff, but I would be very surprised if OD goes anywhere with that his full team behind him. The Disruptor Ags is up. If they get the Ag Static Storm on the Omni Knight and the OD, they might just win the game on the spot. So no pressure for Ninja Boogie, but he's got some big plays to make. He's gonna go for a Refresher Orb. I'm not even sure if he has the mana pool to support a Refresher Orb right now. Maybe needs to go back for some Arcane Boots as well. And yeah, look at this. HappyFeet. Smart decision. It looks boring, but they're sitting in the base just waiting for their buybacks. No real reason to risk anything. Yeah, Mushi is hard committing for the Lincolns now. Well, I guess he's still kind of saving for buyback. Picks up the Ultimate Orb. Ursa gonna go for an Abyssal Blade. So, alright, this is... The game has basically become, can they control and kill the OD? If no, they lose. If yes, maybe they win. Maybe. Alright, team gonna continue playing together. Net worth lead, not very significant for 42 minutes in. Experience lead, kind of the same story. Who actually has impactful levels that they yet to get? Disruptor almost has his level 3 ultimate. Doesn't get that much better, but reduced cooldown is nice, of course. Shadow Fiend's already got his level 25. I haven't really been looking at talent too much, but went for the 150 attack range. Ursa, not 25 just yet. Darkseer also not quite there, and OD, as we saw earlier, going for the Arcane Orb in Steel. So the only 2 level 25 heroes in the game right now. We'll just leave it on the buyback status because nothing's really going to happen, I think, until the OD gets his buyback back up. Still has some room to grow in terms of his item build. I think even a Moonshard could just be good at this point. And yeah, gonna get everybody inside of the base. Crystal Maiden. Can they get the vision for a glimpse? I don't even know if they're gonna need it, but yep, alright. Crystal Maiden gonna get clubbed. Shadow Fiend just gonna keep scouting with the Shadow Blade as they pop a ward down on the high ground. Alright, what's the plan here? Try and force something? Mineski want Roche and HappyFeet want their buybacks, so pretty risky maneuver for either team to do something, but Shadow Fiend has bought up. He's got his Lincoln Sphere. We'll see if that's going to be enough for him to crack this high ground. I somehow doubt it. And unfortunately for them, they still haven't taken these tier 3s, so while their Roshan control has been cut down, the HappyFeet team still have their shrine right here. Darkseer is going to be going for a Lotus of his own, so we got Lotus Orbs on both sides coming up to deal with the Hexes. Ninja Boogie just going to spam top a little bit more.
Oh my. This is cool.
Adam going to go for a Heaven's Halberd. Yeah, this is... Every item that they are buying right now is like, God, we just need to stop the OD. Of course they need to stop his cronies as well. We're going to be looking to bail him out of any tough situation. The Omni Knight especially. Shadow Fiend now going to go for a Silver Edge. Interesting. The damage reduction, potentially pretty good. Perhaps a somewhat underappreciated part of the item. The 50% damage reduction. Lifestealer, very close. So he can actually get his Abyssal Blade now if he wants to. Holding off just for a little bit. Probably feels like the buyback is more important, especially when they have the opportunity to use it near the Roshan pit. They still have to get these tier 2s, so they're still like 2 big teamfight wins away from winning the game. But alright, both teams, looks like the end of this little break that we had called, waiting for the buyback, is almost over. 5 seconds to go for OD. He's going to lead the way with the Repel. Who will have the high ground initiation? Who will have the better vision? That's the big question here. Sand King moving forward. They are hidden amongst the trees. Treant Protector going to scout out the smoke. The Shivas does find him, however. It looks like he won't be able to cast any spells. They lose the gem once again. And Mineski, well, just going to leave the train for dead and try and back themselves up. Is Roshan going to spawn at the same time as this double damage being right here? Really? Okay, Mineski haven't seen either part of this just yet, but this is like the dream. This run's still going to be up for another minute and 30 seconds as well. Who will scout it? Neither team have any vision at all on the map, so other than this one Radiant Observer Ward over here. And Crystal Maiden placing some high ground wards now. Is Ninja Boogie going to spot the DD? Yes. Is Mushi going to be able to solo Roche with this DD? Or maybe they just give it to the Ursa. Oh my god, is this free Roshan? It might have been a free Roshan even without the double damage, but they're just really scared. They don't see anybody. So this is the Mineski vision right now. Alright, they see the OD top. Maybe they know that they just have to go for this. Alright, there they go. Seems like OD doesn't know because he's just still hitting their tier 2. And they really don't know. Completely blind to the fact that this Roshan is being taken. And it's going to be another Aegis and Cheese for Mineski. They get thrown a lifeline. They would have got it anyway without the double damage, but... So I guess the question now is, can HappyFeet successfully dodge fights for the next 5 minutes? They're kind of going for a fake back right now. They're going to repel up the OD again. He's going to jump in. This is the Aegis Ursa, so he isn't too easy to focus necessarily. Pops the BKB, turns around, focusing on the Lifestealer. Can they bring him down? His team is actually leaving him behind. They were focused on saving the OD, and now they get the vacuum into the Static Storm along with the wall. Everybody's trapped. They can't save him. He's being hexed up as well. He will pop the BKB, but doesn't have enough life left. The auto attacks are going to bring him down this time around. Adam blinks in front, gets the kill. The Lifestealer survived for an extremely long time, but does still get brought down in the end. The gem will be reclaimed, and Mineski take a 5-0 team fight, even after they were the ones initiated on, I don't know, weird call from HappyFeet to try and take that fight, and the OD buyback gets forced out without them even getting to the base. Why fight the Aegis? Why do it? They didn't even get it. It's still up. Ursa has Abyssal Blade. They kill OD, they win the game. That's it. He's bought back, but he's got to sit in the fountain. He's buying some boots of travel. He's like, I guess I gotta buy something. I got all this gold. It's just gonna watch as his base gets destroyed. If Lifestealer had a buyback, he would have used it, and Mineski, yeah, not gonna go for the GG, just gonna get 2 easy lanes of racks, maybe even a 3rd. That vacuumed up. I said Ninja Boogie had to make some plays, but Mineski go above and beyond. HappyFeet just panicked. They're like, oh no, we're ditching our Lifestealer. So everybody ran in to try and save him, and they just got demolished. Shadowfiend does get his Lincoln Sphere popped, but he's still sieging. 5 seconds on the Lifestealer. OD needs to be careful. Gonna try and build up some instacks here if he can, but the BKBs are off cooldown. They're gonna vacuum into the Static Storm. They do manage to force staff him a little bit further away. The wall also dropped on that. Shadowfiend being focused. Can he get off the BKB? He will be able to. They've got the Overgrowth. It's doing good damage. The Sand King getting focused down. The Lifestealer turns around to try and man-fight this, but the OD, he's lost his BKB. He's now being hexed. He's getting auto-attacked. The Ursa trying to chase through. They will be able to drop the Sanity's Eclipse. Ursa now the one hexed. He gets Lotus Orbed, but the Hurricane Pike pushes him further back. He will have the Aegis, but there are none of his teammates nearby to save him. Adam somehow lives. What? No way, come on. Kill him. Alright, Adam saves the gem. He was standing right on top of the sentry, but everybody forgot to kill him and they all went back for the Ursa. HappyFeet's base is a shambles. No top racks, no mid racks, no bottom tier 3, and this is even with their shrines still up. So Mineski gonna have to go back and grab those eventually, and they have to force the Mineski buybacks or they've just lost the game. I think. Like, Mineski just do it again, right? They come up, they take the megas, they go back, they farm, they get another Roche, they get another Aegis. Mushi has 7.5k gold. 4.7k gold on the Ursa. How much does the OD have current gold? What's the button? That's the button. Everybody has so much gold. OD's gonna buy a Moonshard. We'll put it on the buyback status for now. Sand King also buying back in that fight.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Alright, that's the tier 2 down. They've paved the way to Megas now. They do have a glyph. They should be able to get the Shadow Fiend up no problem. Maybe the Ursa buyback gets forced, but I don't think so. The Lifestealer doesn't actually hit this building very fast. And the Living Armor is helping him keep it alive. They don't have a Deso, they don't have an AC. This is actually taking them so long to take. The glyph is only now being popped. And they've got the Terrain Protector Aghanim Scepter as well. They're trying to figure out how to kill this tree. But 2 Force Stabs is apparently not enough. HappyFeet are in full panic mode right now. They have to get everybody out. Well, you can't take this fight here. They've got buybacks. You just bought back. What is the plan? All right, OD's gonna jump in. They get the Hex onto the Shadow Fiend, but they've got the Overgrowth. They know who they need to focus. It's the OD. He manages to get out of the Static Storm, but they've got other heroes trapped inside. Shadow Fiend gets bashed as he goes for the ulti, but Ursa knows who his target is. He's gonna stick on the OD. He's got the blink to be able to get further outside the base. They've lost the Crystal Maiden. Everybody else just gonna try and run for it. Omni Knight getting caught out. There's the bash. I don't know if OD can afford to come back in. He still doesn't have the ultimate for 15 seconds. Lifestealer does have the rage, but Mushi just auto-attacking in the back lines. Looks like they might lose the Ursa, but he's got the cheese. A few more auto-attacks. The Sand King hits the deck. And now the Omni Knight trying to keep his teammates alive, but they lose the OD. He's down for 2 minutes. It's just the Lifestealer left. They've got a Hex for him as well. And it looks like against all odds, Mineski are going to take this series. Lifestealer's going to buy back. The CM has a buyback too, but I mean, Mineski just marched down mid, right? Here goes the Ursa. A Terrain Protector running over as well. Lifestealer going to do his best to push out top, but Mushi senses it. He gets the boots of travel. And that's it. Surely. I don't know how they hold on without the OD. They don't have Glyph either, so this is a full respawn. And HappyFeet. It came so close. Wait, why go for Megas? I guess the tier 4s are kind of difficult to kill. Surely this is just game, right? Come on. Alright, there you go. Mega creeps in. Tier 4's falling. A full minute. There's no way that it takes them that long. They do have 3 heroes to fight with.